This preloaded subwoofer box stands out from the rest of the pack. It's got a unique look that is like no other. So what is it? This is the LE512 from DD Audio, and it is exquisite. I have built a ton of subwoofer boxes, and the hardest part is never the sound. Good sound is easy. This thing sounds great. We'll do some tests later on in the video, so keep watching. But what makes it really cool is the look. The first thing that jumps out at you is the metal mesh grill that goes all the way across the front of the enclosure. No other brand is doing anything like that. I mean, most brands don't even bother giving you a grill, but DD Audio went the extra mile and made it part of the overall design aesthetic of the enclosure. You'll notice the subwoofer is mounted into an ultra deep recess so it doesn't smack against the grill, and the grill sets flat against the front baffle. It looks a whole lot like a pro audio cabinet like you might see on a stage. Across the top there's this nice bright red logo. I like that shade of red. It kind of reminds me of the current Ferrari F1 colors. And of course that red matches the red lettering on the subwoofer cone. We're going to crack it open a little bit later and check out the subwoofer. You want to catch that part of the video because there is a surprise inside. Over on one side of the box you'll find the port and a terminal cup with some nice shiny binding post. While we're on this side of the enclosure, we may as well connect the DATs and find out the tuning frequency. We get 36 Hertz. Before I do any more testing, I'm gonna pop that grill off because it's kind of hard to get a good shot of the subwoofer flexing behind the grill. If you like watching the subwoofer flex, hit the like button. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you buy one of these and pull the grill off. Here's why. There's some adhesive on the back of that grill over behind the logo, and pulling the grill off creates this blemish. So I've taken this beautiful box and uglied it up real good. For the rest of the test, we're gonna roll out to the truck and do some in-vehicle measurement. And the first in-vehicle measurement is a sweep in room equalization wizard. This will give us an idea of the in-car frequency response. We get a big peak right at the port tuning frequency with a roll-off below the tuning frequency, which is exactly what you should expect. I noticed a dip here around 60 Hertz. Dips like this are typically a function of the environment. You can get rid of them by moving the subwoofer or flipping polarity. You just kind of got to try different things and see what happens. And of course, you want to know how loud it can play, so we're going to do some quick SPL measurements. Just a short burp at 50, 40, and 30 Hertz. Now, a lot of times in videos like this, people will attempt to push these things to failure. I don't like doing that. This box is too nice to destroy, so don't expect a bunch of smoke. I'm going to slowly dial up the power with the hopes of holding the subwoofer at the RMS rating for just a few seconds. The results are right in line with what you should expect from a nice 500 watt 12-inch subwoofer. You can easily hit 130 decibels across the entire frequency bandwidth. It's impossible to resist turning it up just a little bit more and seeing if it can take a little extra power. If you're looking for huge SPL numbers, you wouldn't buy a single 12 rated for 500 watts. This subwoofer is for somebody who wants a little extra bump, wants to improve their music, and wants to enjoy their music. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Let's go ahead and take it apart. Looking at the terminal cup, the wires are soldered to the back. That's a good solid connection. That's what I like to do when I build boxes. Popping out the sub, you can see the box is made of plywood. Oh hey, would you look at that? Instead of corner 45s, they've installed battens. And they've installed the battens any place where two panels intersect, both vertically and horizontally. This is the way you should build a box. I've been ranting about this lately. I've got a video on it right here. Click on it so you can see what I'm talking about. You see, you don't need to bevel the battens to make them 45s for airflow. the air in the box isn't flowing. If there's any airflow, it's going to be in the port. So 45s are going to help in the port if they help at all. And for the most part, you really don't need anything in the corner. That's where the box is going to be strongest. But adding battens has some advantages. It's going to give you more glue surface area, and it's going to help seal off any leaks. Big props to the smart people at DD Audio for not buying into all that box design pseudoscience. If you look over at the port, they added a round over on the inner port wall. That's a spot where air in the box is going to interact with air in the port. So if you need to round things over, that's the place where you need to do it. If you tap on the box, especially that front baffle, it doesn't resonate. It's dead, which is what you want your box to be. You don't want your box resonating. And it's dead because of the way DD Audio constructed that recess. They added multiple layers of trim rings to recess that sub deep into the box, and that added a bunch of mass to the baffle, and the added mass helps deaden the baffle. When I build boxes, I like to add a second baffle and recess the driver about 3/4 of an inch just because I like the way it looks. But after reviewing this box right here, I think I like the look when you've got a really deep recess. So I'm going to try that on a future box build. For this box right here, that deep recess is necessary so the sub doesn't hit the grill. And it has the advantage of giving the sub a different look, and different's good. As for the driver itself, let's give that a look. It is a dual 2 ohm sub. They've got it pre-wired parallel to give you a 1 ohm nominal load. It's got a stamped basket, which is perfectly fine. Stamped baskets are a great way to keep the cost down, and they're still strong enough to give you a good solid platform to work with. And I like these little DD logos here on the basket for venting. It's cool when people will add those extra touches to their speakers. There's a great big pole vent on the back. Hey, check this out. I thought that this was a 500 series enclosure, so it should be a 500 watt subwoofer. But this is a 700 watt subwoofer. How about that? Mad props to DD Audio for giving you something a little bit extra. And that's really what this box is about. From the driver itself to the nice terminal cup on the side to the cool grill and the solid construction, you're getting something extra and something unique, which is what you should expect from something like DD Audio. They're a premium brand and they market a premium product, and of course they charge premium prices, but that price is going to be competitive with what you might pay for JL Audio or Alpine. How does it sound? Well, I don't have any objective measures of the sound, so what you're going to get is a subjective assessment. It is my opinion. In my opinion, it sounds great. It does exactly what it's designed to do. One of my favorite test tracks is I Don't Care Anymore by Phil Collins. It's a great way to test that mid-bass region. You want it to sound like Phil Collins is sitting right in front of you, and then when he combines the kick drum and the toms, you want to feel it in your chest. This sub was flawless. It delivered just as much kick as the cheap 15 in my last video, but it was a whole lot cleaner. I do have some copyright friendly music I can play for you. The audio is from the standard mic on a GoPro, so the recording is not particularly clean, but people seem to want to hear speakers playing and watch them flex, so here you go. While you sit back and watch the sub flex, I want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members. I literally could not make videos without their support. With a bonus shout out to Jonathan, Joaquin, JD America, Timothy, and Bo. If you like DIY audio content, the best way to support this type of content is to head over to Patreon and join them so you can get all the behind the scenes updates. It's a rock solid box with a unique look and a great sound. To learn more about building a rock solid box, click this video right here and hit this button right here to subscribe. I'm Justin. This is the DIY Audio Guy YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next adventure.